IDF has finally entered the last remaining Hamas terrorist stronghold in Gaza, the southern city of Rafah, after Hamas rejected, rewrote, and then accepted a ceasefire deal. We're going to get into the details of all of this, plus a lot more craziness happening in the world right now, so stay tuned. I'm Justin, and this is the Israel Guys. Welcome to the Israel Guys, where we believe that in a world of Jew hatred and anti-Israel propaganda, you should have a direct connection to the land and people of Israel. First off, guys, you know what to do. Make sure to subscribe wherever you're watching, whether it's on YouTube or other platforms. Rumble, give us a follow there. Also, like this video, hit the notification bell so you never miss any of the content of the Israel Guys. Set looks a little different today. On the road, traveling, speaking about what is going on in Israel this week. Guys, the Israel Summit, our 3-day conference in Nashville, is coming up very, very quickly, and you don't want to miss out on that. So get your ticket for the Israel Summit today. This 3-day amazing conference in Nashville, Tennessee, May 20th through the 22nd. We're basically bringing all of our heroes in from Judea and Samaria, the pioneers of the heartland, also some top name figures and speakers. It's going to be an incredible time, something that you're definitely not going to want to miss. So you can go to theisraelguys.com/summit, or you can just click the link in the description below to get your tickets for that today. So finally, the IDF has started their invasion of the last remaining terrorist stronghold in Gaza, the southern city of Rafah, that has been massive in the world news the past couple months. The U.S. administration, the Biden administration, doing everything they can to keep the IDF out of Rafah, with our President Joe Biden even saying at one point Israel would be crossing a red line if they went into Rafah. So Hamas rejected the latest ceasefire deal. They were in talks of a ceasefire deal, which was absolutely crazy. I think it was a 6-week ceasefire deal where Hamas would release 35 hostages and Israel would release 900 Palestinian prisoners, terrorists, as we know them. Thankfully, thank God, Hamas rejected this ceasefire deal. They were not smart enough to accept it. However, we're going to get into the details about how they may have not actually rejected the deal. They did, but we're going to get into that a little bit later. As soon as Israel found out that Hamas had rejected the ceasefire, they started evacuating 100,000 civilians out of Rafah to begin the invasion. Because contrary to what the world media would like you to know, contrary to what the anti-Israel people would want you to know, Israel cares about civilian life. Way more. They care about the Palestinian civilians in Gaza way more than Hamas does. This is according to JNS. The IDF has marked out 2 evacuation zones and expansion of the Al-Mawasi zone along the central southern Gazan coastline and Khan Yunis. Monday's message directs non-combatants to the expanded area in Al-Mawasi, which includes field hospitals, tents, and increased amounts of food, water, medicine, and other supplies. The Israeli military said that it was conveying the evacuation message via announcements, text messages, phone calls, and media broadcasts in Arabic. So they started the evacuation. Very well done, very organized evacuation through their humanitarian corridors. And then they started their precise targeting and strikes in Rafah. No, they were not just carpet bombing the whole city, which the news media would like to report. They would like to tell you that Israel's just going in and boom, bombing the whole thing. No, this is very precision targeting and striking in Rafah. IDF knows what they're doing. Just in that first night alone, 100 targets were attacked, 20 terrorists were eliminated, and 3 tunnel shafts were located. As you can see in all these videos, tanks going through the city of Rafah, taking out terrorists, attacking targets, finally getting the job done, which honestly should have been done months ago, but because of the pressure that the international community is putting on Israel. They've been forced to extend not going into Gaza. They also took over the Rafah border crossing. There's a lot of theories out right now. People are talking about how extensive this invasion will be. If they're just going to put, or if the IDF is just trying to put pressure on Hamas to release the remaining hostages, or if this is the actual final blow to eradicate Hamas. Hopefully, pray to God that this will be the real deal, that Israel is actually going in to, that this is the final blow to 100% wipe off this evil from the face of the earth. The IDF reopened the Kerem Shalom crossing for humanitarian aid because, again, they care about Gazan civilians way, way, way more than Hamas does. So they opened the Kerem Shalom crossing for humanitarian aid, and guess what Hamas did? Did they come in and, try to cooperate, try to get in aid for their civilians? No, they fired a barrage of rockets at the crossing, which they had done earlier in the week, killing 4 soldiers. Again, they fired a barrage of rockets at the crossing. Absolutely insane. Separately, the IDF said the shots were fired at vehicles carrying Palestinian workers to the crossing, wounding several people. The source of the fire was unclear. Now, I don't know all the details on this, but it appears that at this time, this is the information that I have. Hamas rejected the first ceasefire deal. But then, 5 minutes before before tanks were rolling into Rafah, before they were going into Rafah, Hamas was all of a sudden like, whoa, we changed our minds. We're accepting the ceasefire deal. But, it's like Hamas is scared. They're like, oh, if you're actually going to attack us, no, we didn't mean it. We're actually accepting the deal. They didn't accept the same deal. Listen to this. They changed some wording on the ceasefire deal, and then they said they accepted it. The U.S. administration, of course, was super excited, over the top excited about this. They said the wording was just minor details that didn't matter. Now, what are some of these minor details? One of these details was that Hamas added that they could return the hostages dead or alive. Do you realize the implications of that this minor detail that Hamas added to the ceasefire deal? Return the hostages dead or alive, meaning they could just kill all the hostages before they returned them. Absolutely insane. It is a minor detail that the U.S. administration is saying. Another one of these minor details was that Israel would discuss a permanent ceasefire with Hamas before invading Rafah. Insane. Another thing they added was that Israel was not allowed to choose which prisoners, terrorists, they would release out of Israeli prisons in exchange for the hostages. Again, absolutely insane to release full-blown terrorists out of Israeli prisons, who are in Israeli prisons for very good reason, to release them in exponential numbers higher than the hostages released already. But now Israel can't even choose which terrorists they're going to release. That's just crazy. Thankfully, Israel was like, no, this is stupid. This is insane. They pretty much ignored it, and they went ahead with the Rafah operation, thankfully. And because of this, surprise, surprise, the Biden administration was not too happy. We're going to talk about their response, but first, looking for a meaningful gift that offers more than just words? How about a journey through the language of the Bible itself? 75 Hebrew words you need to understand. The Bible is not just a book, it's an experience that unfolds the hidden depths of biblical teachings through the original Hebrew words. This beautifully designed coffee table-sized book serves as both a profound educational tool and a captivating conversation piece. Each of the 75 words is explored through essays that connect historical roots, linguistic ties, and biblical theology. Ideal for anyone interested in deepening their biblical knowledge or engaging in thoughtful discussion about faith and Scripture. Give the gift of understanding to yourself or your loved ones. Click the link in the description below to purchase 75 Hebrew words you need to understand the Bible today. So, the Biden administration was pretty ticked off they were pretty mad that Israel went ahead with the Rafah operation and didn't pay attention to the whinings of Hamas with their insane ceasefire deal. So they were mad, and they blocked a munitions shipment to Israel because they had concerns. Well, this is what they officially said. They had concerns that the weapons could be used in densely populated parts of Gaza's Rafah city. Really? The shipment included 1,800 bombs weighing 2,000 pounds and another 1,700 bombs, weighing 500 pounds. According to the official, Israel has not, quote, fully addressed U.S. concerns about the humanitarian situation for the over 1 million Gazans sheltering in Rafah City, and the administration is particularly concerned that 2,000-pound bombs could be used in densely populated parts of the city. Really? Israel is the most moral army in the world. They are doing the best possible job they can by doing the world a favor and wiping off Hamas from the face of the earth, wiping this evil terrorist scum from the face of the earth. And the U.S. administration is like, well, we're worried, you're going to drop bombs on the densely populated area. Absolutely not. Did you not hear this? This is absolutely crazy, insane. This is the first time that the U.S. administration has done this, that they've stopped munitions since October 7th. So they must be really, really mad. A report by Politico cited a U.S. official as saying on Tuesday that the weapons shipments are being held up to send a political message. You don't say. This is sort of the U.S. administration's way. Number one, they're mad because, this is their way of dealing with it. You don't do exactly what we say, we'll give you a slap on the wrist by not sending munitions to you. It's absolutely crazy what they're doing here. For some reason, and I don't get this at all, I don't understand this, the Biden administration really, really badly wants to save Hamas. Like, why did they want to save Hamas? They're keeping Israel from attacking their last remaining major stronghold. Absolutely insane stuff happening. However, that is not the only insane thing happening in the world. The United Nations General Assembly is about to vote on more rights for Palestinians at the UN. What on earth? This is from JNS. The United Nations General Assembly will attempt to run an end around the UN Charter on Friday when it is slated to vote on a resolution that would grant the Palestinians unprecedented perks following the Security Council's rejection to the Palestinians' long-standing full membership application. In addition to asking the Security Council to reconsider the matter favorably, the resolution, which is widely expected to garner the necessary two-thirds majority of the 193 members body, states that the so-called Palestinian state is peace-loving, a requirement of the Charter. Absolutely crazy. Really? And they're saying this might actually have a possibility of passing. And they're saying, according to the Charter, it has to be a peace-loving Palestinian state. That's impossible. Seeing as the Palestinian Authority is really corrupt, maybe the lesser of the two evils of Hamas. However, they pay the terrorists salaries. They support terrorism as much as they can. Absolutely corrupt, evil government. And Hamas is ruling Gaza, and they murdered 1,200 Israelis on October 7th. Really? Peace-loving state? Absolutely not. An annex to the resolution, viewed by JNS, which could be revised ahead of Friday's vote, would also grant unprecedented rights to a non-member observer status, which has been the Palestinians' UN classification since a 2012 General Assembly vote. Those benefits would include the right to be elected to General Assembly committees, to submit proposals and amendments, to raise procedural motions, and to be seated among member states in alphabetical order. All privileges not granted to the institution's other non-member observer state, the Holy See, nor to the European Union, which holds the same status. Absolutely insane stuff happening. Pray that this does not go through, that this vote will not pass. Guys, insane stuff happening in the world. As I've said, crazy stuff happening in Israel. Continue to pray for Israel. They need your prayers more than ever right now. Make sure and check out the 75 Hebrew words you need to understand the Bible. You can click the link in the description below if you want to purchase that today. Don't forget to subscribe. Get the conversation going. down in the comments below. Let me know if you're a new viewer wherever you're watching from. Love to hear from you guys in the comments. As always, tune out the fake news and tune into what is actually happening in the land of Israel. We'll be back every day, Monday through Friday, with your direct connection to the land and people of Israel.